Hey everyone! Today we're going to talk about how archaeologists use GPS systems for research. It's a bit different than the GPS on your phone, but the technology is essentially the same. However, we're going to dive deeper into how archaeologists use these technologies for field-oriented research. I'll be referencing Sushama G. Dio's article, Use of GPS-Based Field Methods in Archaeology and Introduction, and some of their sources throughout the video. For those that do not know, GPS stands for Global Positioning Systems, which is an informational technology or IT system that has made a huge impact on archaeological research since around the 1980s. Archaeologists coordinate with space scientists in order to acquire the information coming off of satellites about the Earth. GPS systems is a remote sensing technology which refers to collecting information about the surface of the Earth without actually making contact with the surface. Thus, archaeologists are using GPS systems to create either two-dimensional or three-dimensional images of the Earth's surface in order to determine the geographical positions of areas they want to study. The way this process works is an archaeologist will have a GPS receiver that communicates with a number of satellite sensors. The distance between the satellite and the receiver is determined by measuring the travel time. Distance equals velocity times time. Thus, the accuracy of GPS locations depend on the number and position of the tracked satellites and the mathematical calculations of those trajectories. Images of the Earth's surface come from the reflection of light and rays in order to make distinguished structures and figures among the surface. GPS systems are useful for archaeological expeditions because it gives archaeologists an opportunity to revisit the same sites with ease and accuracy. Another pro tip to this technology is that it provides data in quantitative manners in order to access and monitor cultural resources. For example, using GPS systems to track the progression of deforestation, or even a more recent example, GPS systems track how much land was destroyed in California after the major forest fires. Although global positioning systems are available for archaeologists that conduct field-oriented research, there are some drawbacks to using this form of technology. For instance, like I said earlier, the accuracy of this technology depends on a lot of certain factors and calculations that can easily be miscalculated. Another drawback is the cost of using this type of system. Due to satellites being in military control, it usually takes some time to get authorized permission to use these technologies, but also the cost is usually a bit high. In conclusion, archaeological investigations begin with large field surveys to compose an inventory of resources and features of the land to thus determine what areas to excavate for artifacts. GPS systems simply make these processes a bit easier as long as you are authorized and can afford the cost. I hope you learned about the basic uses of GPS in archaeological research.